Hey, we are here with Death Unto Madness. I don't know what episode number it is. I've stopped putting that in the stream title because it doesn't really matter unless you're watching on YouTube and need to sort them properly. Here we are. It's just Josh and Alyssa today. But we have some stuff to tie up in Setkiss. So I figure we spend a little time
29.
here. Very nice, very nice. It makes sense that this would be like a little denouement episode where we kind of deal with the aftermath of what Joser did last time, and get some closure to Setkiss, particularly, because we'll be sticking around in Nima for a little while with Alpheus and Avra, but we need to figure out what kind of like the next plan is for you guys. And we don't need to jump. I don't want to necessarily jump into like a bunch of new things per se for you, but rather just like orient the characters in the new direction and figure out like what the future is going to look like in a general sense. So let's do that. If you guys have your beliefs squared away, let's go ahead and read those off and do the thing. Josh, what are Joser's bits today?
Today, they are, Maya has been a wonderful intermediary and I seek friendship. I will apologize for my impulsive action. My father's purposes are of greater import than my own safety. I will make steps to secure Setkiss's leadership for when I am absent.
Real quick, one question about the first belief.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I know what you're talking about, what is the thing that you're going to apologize for?
I'm going to apologize for trying to save Hopseth without consulting.
Okay. So if you would like, so let's talk about this briefly as players so we know whether or not this is something you could like get persona for. Because if it's just like you go and talk to her and she's fine with it, that's one thing, right? But if there's like some role involved, then, or some larger thing you have to do. So Maya, is this something that Joser would have to like make a roll on, and like, is it basically, should he reword the belief to be seek forgiveness from Maya? Is this a thing you actually need reconciliation over?
I think because of the way things have turned out, no, not necessarily, because it turned out fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think.
Well, then maybe there's something here where it's not necessarily.
But she still is like. She's still like, okay, seriously, you did that.
Right, you know? Right. I think maybe it's less about the specific action then, and more about like a general. You guys need to make sure you're on the same page and everything's good between you. There's no like outstanding bad feelings in any sense. What do we think that looks like, just in a general sense, so we can make sure this.
I mean, she still appreciate an apology. I you know, that's the thing, is I think she would still appreciate an apology, but it's not necessarily. That makes sense. Like a strong grudge, at least.
Right. So the real question is there a role required here anywhere, or some sort of sacrifice on Joser's part?
I think if she wants his full trust, yes.
Okay. All right. It's cool. Then that's fine. We can probably.
If he's cool with just like, you know, like we're good, we're allies still, then like no. But if he's like, I want Maya to like fully trust me, then yeah, an apology is needed. Yeah,
it looked like Josh just reworded it to be, I will rebuild trust between us, which that seems like a good place to orient the characters to make sure they're both on the same page, they both trust each other and can move forward in whatever next plan with like full trust. Makes sense to me. Cool.
Yep.
And then your second one was steps to secure Seki's leadership for when I'm absent. Okay, perfect. Yep, makes sense.
1 second. I'm just checking a skill. Excellent. And my light must be increased if I am to pierce the coming darkness. I will work with Thalia to give closure about her mother.
Okay. All right.
Instincts are, if I can use my steward's power, then I try that first. If Thalia is addressed negatively, then I ready my knife. And if Indu is mentioned, then I get lost in memories.
Nice.
Traits are rebel rouser, well-traveled, cunning and strange. die traits are Faithful, Manhunter, Weather Sense, Believer Vested, Chosen One, Force of Nature, Spirit Familiar, and then I've got the call on of Revered and Resigned to Death.
Yeah, especially because we're moving towards the last arc here. I like that we added a bunch of new traits to everybody. Gives a little bit of oomph to the characters. So, Maya, what about your stuff?
I will do whatever it takes to elevate my son to the place of prophet king. I will grace the city of Psychis with the story of my son.
Let's do the play.
Yeah, we're going to do the play. I will learn about the gods to fill in the missing pieces. I will learn more about Indu. Alpheus is a traitor. I will ensure he is never welcome back in Sinia. My husband needs to stay safe. My fourth and extra belief needs to die trait.
Yes.
Or my
loyal.
Belief,
Yeah.
Loyal. Yep. My husband needs to stay safe. I will convince Calic to give my husband his full support.
Okay. Yeah. Make sure that the priest of Arotos has whether because
he doesn't need to like convert,
change
but
religions necessarily, but change allegiances at least. Yeah.
Instincts. I will always put my family first, no matter what. Never back down from a challenge. If I meet a fellow performer, I will give them my assistance. Traits: colorful, religious, ambitious, thick skin, marker, power behind the throne, glib, and familiar face.
Very good. Yeah, and she Alyssa cut out there for a second, but she also has bastard and loyal. So, yep.
I'm one loyal bastard. What can I say?
Fair enough. Cool. All right. So, I think we can probably knock out a lot of these today with some focused RPing. Let's do it. So I'm just glancing over these again. So Joser, you wanted to give Thalia closure about her mother. And we've on screen said at this point, right, who Thalia is? Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Sometimes I accidentally reveal things that I don't mean to.
Yeah, I don't think it was in character, but at least out of character, we definitely have specifically.
It was in character. You told I was like, because you told me that she was your daughter. You told me that you were a god. So.
Yep. And then Maya has belief about Indu. Is there any way we can intersect these somehow? What was your plan? What was your plan, Joser, to fill in Thalia on her?
I mean, I was thinking almost that could be part of the rebuilding trust if we wanted to work it that way.
I say we can start with that. You can apologize and we can be like, all right, you know what? Let's move forward. Let's find your wife.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I like it. Let's start there then. Whoever would like to frame the scene for me, go ahead.
I'd like to think that Maya is working on her play by trying to get the stage all ready and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Now that you're kind of just in charge of Sedkis, you're just waltzing in to the Hofset Society and doing your thing.
I'm gonna go use that. I don't know if I can just do that. I could probably. I was just gonna say, do I need to roll something to nice theater for this? Probably.
So you already made the roll, I think, right? To for Seti, that hierarch, to back you up, right? Do we succeed on that roll?
Yes, but that was before I cut off. Contact with the Hofset Society.
But Joser then made the whole city on his side, including the hierarch. Right. So I think that's back on, right? So I think it's just it's back on. Seti is on your side, and so he just gives you a place, right? That the patronage has continued. Cool. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, there was probably even a small snippet of a scene where it's we're wandering through the streets and some of the hierarchs they're nervously thinking that they're going to get punished and just stops and shakes hands with that guy and says, "I hear you're putting on a play."
Right, yeah. And it's suddenly just back on. Yeah, everything's back to normal. Yeah, cool.
Excellent. So I am at the theater.
Excellent.
And then you can come up to me however you like.
Yes. Well, first of all, Jose's going to do his earlier thing. Jose would like to know the official etiquette for how to enter into a conversation with a Sinian lady for the purpose of apologizing. I was thinking something
okay.
like you do the whole bird thing, but you don't have a glove on, and you just let it bite you without the glove on purpose.
Well, the problem is I don't really have a bird, so
that's fine. Thalia has a bird, so Jose will just
so you just want to let Thalia's bird bite you?
Bite my finger off. Yep. Well, not finger off.
Not bite your finger off. Yeah.
Although I could probably then miraculously heal it. So
yeah. But I don't know if that's something we want to play with too much.
No. Not by default, at least. No.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'll faith, even though it's no longer an instinct. I'll try and faith up a whole ob one and
Sure. Yeah.
See if I can open end my perception heading into this social situation.
And you do so.
Excellent. And then by being learned etiquette, what odd word do you think an apology would be?
For an etiquette roll? Just to enter into
do we remember what like the normal greeting in Ornithessia is?
Yes,
like
so
3?
Yes, 1 was aviatrix, 2 was knowing the bird thing, and 3 was knowing Ornithessia is the queen's title.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking probably another ob 3. I don't know if it's more difficult than that. It's just different, right? Yeah, that's what I'd say. So yeah, ob 3 etiquette.
Cool. Let's see. Could I make a persuasion linked test
for etiquette?
For etiquette, yeah, because I don't have etiquette as an official skill at the moment. I mean, I can use any of my other ones, but I'd like it to be persuasion.
I don't think so. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing that would
be soothing platitudes.
Soothing platitudes as a link test makes sense. Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Cool.
That makes sense to me.
Do that then. Yeah, soothing platitudes in my book. Okay. So soothing platitudes. Ob 2, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anticipation wise, bureaucracy maybe.
Bureaucracy makes sense. Yep.
And then persuasion's a suggested fork for that.
Yep. That's fine.
I'll do those 3. I won't do a whole bunch. Oh, and you know what? It's Jose. He's going to put an astrology in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a running theme. No Arthur. Face obstacle.
I think it's just Josh who likes astrology.
Yeah, I do like that. That's me.
Because Cyrus also has astrology. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Soothing platitudes.
Oh, and it's a 6. Astrology die.
True. Hang on. May as well fade it up, but yeah. Goodness.
Oh wow.
Nice.
I'm very soothing of platitudes.
I'll go ahead and give you a +2 dice for that link test there for your
Cheers.
It's a pretty good roll.
It is open-ended. And I have 2 helping advantages. I'll make it actually, does Thalia have actually anything that'll be helpful here? Falconry, because she can help with knowing what the bird is.
Yes, that makes sense. Because they're tied together like that.
Yep. And it'll be all 3, so it's a difficult. Okay, cool.
Good luck.
So 3 helps, and none of that. Face obstacle 3, so it'll be a bit pretty difficult, but we shall see. There you go.
Well, you got a 6.
Yep. I'll drop a couple of fate in there.
Sounds good.
Why not?
Not a bad chance.
Into perception. Fate, remaining ob 2, number of dice, just 2, I believe, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you open in this though?
I did, yeah, already. Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's just the.
Oh yeah,
So
it's just
wouldn't
the one. It doesn't matter
it's
either way
one.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to work birds, but I'll probably do it.
So
I'll probably get my finger bitten off it, and it's not the normal way of doing things.
I mean, it's also possible that you just do it, but it doesn't matter for Maya, right?
True.
Because she just doesn't care about that stuff. Because it seems more likely to me that Joser gets it right because he's exact about these sorts of things, or at least tries to be. But Maya doesn't. It doesn't matter for Maya that he knows the specific.
If anything, I'm more annoyed that you stopped me to do this. Now I'm just like,
right.
I'm busy, Joser. Go away. So I think she's like, I think she's just going to be like a little like, no, a little off, but just get to the point.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah, I think like Joser pauses for a second and says, "Forgive me for requesting clarification, but would you like me to get on with it or go away?"
Get on with it and then go away. That order exactly.
Excellent. And Joser makes a couple notes on his usual pad of paper, so he knows. And then he like gives a more proper bow and says, "Avia chicks, Maya. I wish to apologize for some of my previous behavior."
Be more specific?
I do not apologize for drumming your husband into action. I think that was a necessary thing to happen. But I should have consulted you before I attempted to intervene on Hopsef's behalf.
Yeah, you really should have.
Indeed. I was...
You're really lucky that turned out good for you.
I do not believe in luck. But yes, it is something I regret. I saw an opportunity for doing something that I thought was good and took action immediately without thinking of the consequences and without even thinking, admittedly, of whether it was the father's will at all. I forgot that perhaps sometimes the father uses evil to punish other evil. And he kind of like bows like a full 90-degree bow and says, "I hope there is some way I can help make it up to."
You can
First of all, I pledge to make sure that it does not happen again.
Well, you can start by agreeing to you wanted to be in the No Secrets Club. So if you can say no secrets, then I'll start the process of trusting you again.
Excellent.
More, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm. I promise that the sun will reveal no more darkness within me.
I think that's where you got to make it, probably.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Maya says that, but probably the results of the roll actually determine if it's the truth.
Well, I think the result of the roll will be she's just probably more like reserved about it. Like like she says that, but I mean, Maya lies. But
right, and it could even literally be like Maya says that, but like something has changed between them, and it will never be the same. As opposed to the persuasion roll succeeds, and everything's totally fine, maybe even better than before, sort of a thing, right?
All right. What kind of check would this be? Soothing platitudes, persuasion. What would you like?
Up to you, Alyssa. What do you think? Ooh, good luck. Might as well at 6.
I know.
Yeah. Because I didn't come at you very angrily, so I'd say this is more persuasion, probably.
Sure.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, because things turned out well, she's not like angry, but she's definitely upset that you put her husband in danger.
I don't know which ones of these actually apply.
You can list them off if you want.
I don't think it's suasion. Soothing platitudes is okay. We'll get up persuasion as a skill and find out what it says. Falsehoods. I'm not gonna falsehood. I'm not lying to you again. Soothing platitudes, yeah. Truth. Narratory. Anticipation wise, I think is thing. Astrology works. 1, 2, 3. Do you want to just look at my list, Alyssa?
Look at your list. Sure. Do I have access to your sheet?
You should do.
Okay, here we go. Stats and skills.
I know astrology works because that's an automatic thing.
Yeah, astrology. I don't think you were particularly philosophical.
No.
Possibly anticipation wise. I think that makes sense. Because you were trying to like be all anticipated with like the the etiquette stuff and whatnot. Soothing platitude. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. That might be it. Oh, you only got 2 dice in persuasion.
Yep. He's not particularly. He's a speech maker, not a.
Yeah, because you weren't. It wasn't like an ugly truth thing. Like you didn't like say anything about that. It was. Yeah, I would say soothing platitudes, anticipation wise, and astrology. Yeah. I don't know that unless you wanted to continue to talk, but I mean. Not anything else to add, but as is, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, that is fine. Alrighty. I do. Let me give me myself that 1 fate back since I didn't actually spend it. Okay.
Oh yeah. Good luck, Joser. This may decide the fate of the campaign right here.
Nah.
Can Maya
I'll
and Joser
miracle myself out of danger. Yep, so 3. Excellent. And no, I won't put any persona in this. I need it for when I inevitably die. When she stabs me to death. Base obstacle 6. Nice.
Oof. That was really bad.
Well,
do you want to bank it on a ridiculous chance or take the L?
I might as well put some fate in persuasion. I need to start ranking it up. Persuasion. I fate in it now.
You wanted to.
Only 4 remaining up to go with a whole 2 dice. Makes sense.
0 successes. Very good.
So I don't think it's that Maya's like not gonna, obviously she's not gonna yell at you. I think she still says what she says. She's like, Joser, I trust you. But then like, I think she maybe adds like the line of like, Joser, I trust you, but just I'm always gonna put my family first no matter what. And if you put my family in danger, It's no hard feelings.
That's ominous.
Could Josa make a manhunter roll to like essentially weigh this up and see how she's feeling about it?
Sounds like a thing you could do.
Kind of understand that to the full extent instead of just his words.
Yeah, and then these are the aura reading obstacles, right? So it's like ob 4 for intent, probably.
For his intent, 2 is for reading a mood.
Like you already know her mood, right? I think it would be intent.
Yep. So excellent.
Unless actually, what is die trait? Is that 3? Or is that 4?
Die trait is 4.
Okay, it would be either one of those because you could like try to figure out the die trait of loyal or her intent. Either one would probably give you the answer you need. So
cool.
But yeah, 4 either way.
It will go that. No help or advantages. And no other. And base obstacle 4. Actually, I did open-end perception at the start of the conversation. No help. No other. Base obstacle 4. That doesn't help me either.
No dice and no 6s.
So basically, it comes down to the father's will or her family. She will choose her family, is basically what I've decided.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yep. That makes sense.
And again, things turned out fine. So she's not like better at you or anything like that. But she's just like, you know, not your biggest fan. So I think she'll move on to say, so speaking of family, though, I think we need to continue working on building allies. You mentioned your wife, Indu. You don't know where she is.
I assume Thalia and Sadiq are here.
Yeah. Jersa just like stops.
Is there a secret message that happened?
It's in the chat. You can see
I think. Because I mentioned her name.
Oh. Right. Of course.
So I think, Maya will like snap in front of him. And then I don't know if you like respond to that, but she's just like, Joser.
Yeah, it's at least a couple more moments after you like snap your fingers, and then
I was about to say if you don't respond like right away to this finger snap, she'll just like turn to Thalia and be like, "Do you want to help me find her? They seem a little busy."
Yeah, I guess Thalia. I mean, she's very rarely been addressed in this game so far, so she just like looks down and says, I guess." And just like glances at Joser. Of course.
Well, I think we need as many allies as we can. And if it helps you guys, I can see why not. I may know some people. And then this is where I want to try to roll a circles test to see if I know anybody like priests of Inju that I know that Inju's not really big here in Zetkis, but a priest like maybe maybe even a Hofseth priest maybe knows of one that we can possibly contact.
Yeah, so there's a couple different things here. Remind me, Josh, did you ever make that? No, you didn't. You made the circles roll, and Demetria had someone who she wanted you to talk to. You never followed up on that. So I won't say anything more about it, but I had an idea there for something related to this, but that would only be really if Joseph.
Dimitri is the playwright that I recruited?
No, Damaris is the playwright that you recruited.
Demetria was the old ladyboat girl.
Yeah, the weather witch that Joser is trying to get in contact with. Or get to help. Anyway, yeah, I that was mostly me thinking out loud. Yeah, it would probably be... I don't know if a priest of Hopsef would know anything about this. This would have to be like I think you're just trying to circle up someone who knows about Indu. Probably doesn't matter who, right?
Yeah.
That's probably your best bet because it's going to be like Ob 3 even then because Indu's such a rare figure. So yeah, I'm thinking Ob 3 and it's just like a person who actually has something for you. Here.
Okay, like any like if there's any kind of shrine or anything or any information about.
Yeah, and I think I have an idea of who this person would be if you succeed.
Okay. Now remind me, I have for one of my die traits, the power behind the throne. It says religious for circles. What is that? Basically just that I have.
You have the setting religious as thing. So you could try to circles up this person themselves. It would just be a little bit more difficult. The circles you're making right now for Ob 3 is like a person who can get you in contact with someone who like, knows a lot.
So if I use
Indu.
the religious setting, I'm like trying to find Indu herself?
No, not Indu. You would be trying to find a person who worships Indu, like a priest of Indu. Right. Which I think would be like an Ob 4 or 5 because it's very rare. And very unusual.
Okay.
So I think those are your 3 options. I have an idea for the person who knows someone, and then it would be like another role involved there to like find this person and get in contact with them. Or you can go for the Ob 5, I think, which would be you actually find the priest of Indu who can like actually give you all this information.
Okay, so my power behind the throne, that gives me just like a +1 to this roll.
No, so it gives you the ability to make the circles roll in the first place, right?
Okay.
So
then
I
guess let's go with the Ob 3 one first because I have a 4 in circles. So it's not impossible for me to get an Ob 5, but much more difficult.
Yeah.
So let's do Ob 3. Can I use any of my reputations like of the King's Blood?
I don't think so for this person, no.
Patron of the Arts?
No.
Okay, any of my affiliations as nobility or Hopsa Society?
No. Yeah, really? I think this person doesn't care about any of those things.
Okay, well, let's see how this goes. I'm going to go ahead and put a persona in this. I got like 4 of them, so.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see your steel test in there, Joser.
3. Oof. Okay.
Close.
Let me go ahead
cigar.
And roll it. Well, I have my.
Oh yeah. You can spend a fate to reroll a trader, or just go with the call on.
I have my.
Keep in mind.
I have my call on trait.
Once per session, you can do that. So it might be better to try fate first, right?
No. Yeah, I guess that's true. So I can try fate first, and then.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll try fate first. I've got.
Yeah, the more I've thought about like the interaction between call-ons and fate, I don't think it really matters the order. It's just that you keep track of which dice are actually failures and stuff. There you go. Success. Yes. So
that was a difficult test.
It was a difficult, yeah. So I think the person you find is Demetria. And I think like Joser wasn't planning on going back to her because he had abandoned the whole, try to get help for. Because you were like gonna send Demetria like across like to Kyrides to like help or whatever, and that kind of fell apart. So I assume Joser just like never went to go meet that person.
Yeah,
she was setting that for you, right?
Yeah, Joser's switched at this point. He was going to go himself to Ben. So
yeah, and that's what I figured. But I think what happens here is we get a hold of that thread again from Maya's perspective. So Maya, for whatever reason, and you can tell me, why would you have talked to Demetria? So she's like I think did we say she was a Sinian? I think she's a Sinian.
Yeah, so she's a Sinian weather witch.
Yeah, weather witch. So she's like a person who helps make sure that the weather isn't going to destroy a ship. She's probably I think she's a worshiper of Pyrrhus. Oh, that's what it is. It's Malekith revealed himself as Pyrrhus, and she's one of the people who comes to like, pay homage and get in touch with him. Yeah. And for whatever reason you have a conversation, you can tell me, I guess, if you have any ideas as to how that went down, but for whatever reason, she mentioned Indu, and that probably piqued your interest, and you had a brief conversation about it. And she basically told you there's a guy who lives like at an oasis, like out away from Setkis. He lives by himself on a little hut. If you want to know more about Indu, you go find that guy. That's what she told you.
All right. Sounds good.
Um,
I mean, if it's after the whole like Pyrrhus revealing himself, I probably meant like, you know, oh yeah, like I want to find the other gods and try to like reunite them. And she's like, oh yeah, well, if you want to know anything about this, I was gonna tell you guys. So
sure,
just a connection.
Yeah, I mean, Thalia is just like looking at you, Joe.
Yeah, I just
like, like, should we do this?
So
like,
just tell Thalia, I'm like, you wanna go? He seems a little busy.
Yeah, I guess.
Can I make a circles roll as well? I kind of want to know if there's one of Hagiel's priests who, in his efforts to be like a real in-deep follower, had been like super nerd and researched all of like Hagiel's history and about Indu and him, and see if there's like one of those in the church.
Oh, in the church, like a priest who's done this research for you, basically. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. It would just be what are your life paths again?
I have student, ship's doctor, temple acolyte, and then priest.
Yeah, I was gonna say priest would be the life path that I think that makes the most sense here. So you can have like a base ob 1, and then I guess probably ob 3 if you want someone who's like actually made the whole history and like has detailed information on all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty rare. But yeah, so I think ob 3 circles.
Mm-hmm. Church of Hagiel affiliation and my reputation as Hagiel would help me.
I assume so.
Yeah, and I'll put a persona in this as well for the funsies. Circles with 5 helps and 1 other, and base obstacle 3. Yeah, whoa. I know this guy. I heckin' know this guy. He's literally one of my 3 loyal guys that we haven't been mentioned yet.
Yeah, for sure. Holy crap, that's like a ridiculously good roll on circles. Oh, but yeah, I guess you have so many like affiliation and reputation dice on that.
Yeah,
makes sense. Cool. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you know this person too, but so however you guys would like to deal with this. Thalia does look at you, Maya, and nods slowly. I don't think she's super. She's not the sort of person. I think we haven't had a lot of characterization of her, but I don't think she's the sort of person who's just gonna like immediately be like, "Oh yeah, that sounds great, Maya. I love you. You're the best." She's a little bit more reserved about it, but she does seem like interested, right? She's like nodding.
Yeah, I'm like the extrovert trying to invite my introvert friend along on adventures.
Yeah.
So at this point, Josa generally has his posse of Thalia, Sadiq, and then like 3 other as yet unnamed guys. One of the unnamed guys will step forward. He's like definitely a bit younger. He's probably got like spectacles on, and his name is Rak, R-A-H-K.
I'm not sure spectacles exist in this setting. When did his spectacles get made? What's like the actual?
That's a good question.
I'm curious about this. He would maybe have something like that, whatever the nerd thing would be for this. But I'm curious.
1284 or
13th century. Let's see if there's. Whoa! The first known lenses originated in Egypt. That's what the paper is said, apparently. Let's see. Oh, I see. Yeah, so there's a particular statue that has lenses in the statue, like these little weird glass lenses, but they weren't, I mean, people didn't use them for spectacles until the 13th century. But technically the idea of a lens was...
He probably has like a magnifying glass or something, and he has them instead of spectacles.
If he has to, he has some sort of like lens like he can use.
Crystal.
But yeah. that's a kind of fun little thing. He just a little like lens crystal that he uses if he needs to like read something, but he doesn't necessarily have it like attached to his face.
No,
he just is squinting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
cool.
He's scholar boy. Mm-hmm. And so like Joseph kind of just nods and like gestures to Rock and says, I think you would be helpful to them, Rock. It's best that you talk to them.
Yeah, he glances at you and he's squinting and he says, "My Lord Hagiel, do you not also want to go visit this man?"
I kind of want to make a roll instead. Let's see. Maybe it's just another steel test.
Yeah.
I think Maya probably says something like, "She is your wife after all." And then I'm like, oh,
yeah, Rock wouldn't put it that way, but
Maya would. She's blunt enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just make another steel test. I don't necessarily want to test.
And the intention of this is
essentially if Joseph succeeds on this, he it's like he has enough confidence in his own emotions that he'll like go along with them. And if he fails,
I saw something very miraculous last session. Did I get a steel test for that?
Yes, we forgot about this. Yes, everyone gets a challenging steel test. I'm
excellent.
Sure. For that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang it. I don't need a challenging. I need a difficult.
Yeah, we need difficults. You and I both need difficults.
Wait, what's the odd for seeing a miraculous sign like that?
Yeah, I'll take a look. There's a space on your character sheet next to steel. Passive tests, this drop down menu here. So being in the presence of the divine is op 10, right?
Dang it, so that is a challenge.
Let's see. Encountering the living dead, you didn't actually do that. They just all died before you got there. Let's see. I guess you got that one if you needed it. The op 8 there, Joser. I figured as much.
Yeah. Not really.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like,
would the ritual with, I suppose, I don't know whether it counts as participating in spirit activity.
Yeah, the thing is, like, there's all sorts of spiritual things all along the scale here, but what happened last session was the greatest example of those, I think.
Yeah, even the stuff in the temple.
Yeah, exactly. It was all very high level stuff, so yeah, I don't think you get difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. I need to get stabbed. That's what I need.
Yeah. Oh, no, you don't have to get stabbed. You just need to get shot at.
Oh,
that's true.
Cool.
They can miss.
Do guns exist in this setting?
They don't exist in this setting.
Doesn't say guns. It says you can be shot at with a bow.
It could be a bow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think for all intents
and purposes, and I'll shoot some arrows at you and miss horribly.
For all intents and purposes, the level of technology we're looking at is like Roman era at most. So yeah, there's certainly.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Josh.
No, you're good.
Nice.
I was just like,
yeah, but if he fails this steel test, Joso essentially thinks, no, if I do this, I'm gonna essentially probably break down because this is just too much for me.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Take the plus dice for being around allies.
Yeah, I think it's a +1 bonus.
I think so.
And a conditional goop. I don't know what it's doing. Hang on.
That was weird.
Yeah, I'll just re-roll that. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
So 1 advantage. No
Arthur.
Really hesitation is 5. And no conditional up.
Oh, you got the exact same roll. Yeah, I mean, you could spend a fate. It's automatically open-ended, but you could spend a fate to roll a traitor there.
Yeah, I think it'd be good if I did come along. We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll just do 1, remaining of 1, dice 1.
Hey, there you go. 6 even.
Yeah, so I think Joseph like starts trailing off into memories again, and then like shakes his head to clear it, and says, "It's It'd probably be good if I did come along.
Rock nods like, I was hoping you'd say that. I was worried there for a moment.
Excellent. Let me finish up here, and then we will leave.
You do forget, Rock. I know a little more on the subject than you.
Well, I mean, technically, based on the circles roll, he knows way more on the subject than you. At least in a historical sense. Maybe obviously not a personal sense, but. Yeah, I'm taking a look at Thalia's beliefs that you put in here I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I haven't updated them. I updated a couple of them.
They're actually really relevant. Her third belief is, my mother is still a mystery to me. I will assist Maya if she expresses interest in Indu.
Yeah, I think I updated them like a couple of sessions ago.
Yeah. That's funny. But I think Thalia turns to you, Joser, and then says, I think it would be good if you joined us, Father. I don't know who this person is, but if Demetria is recommending them, I think this could be the key to figuring out what we need to know.
Yes, well,
it's like family reunion.
So question for you, Joser. That's circles. Yeah, that circles test for Rock. What do you want him to know? Like, what information have you gained from this dude about all this stuff?
I essentially want him to have as much conceivable knowledge as he can of like the earthly observance of it, and at least some of the legends, some true, not all of them.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, are we having like the whole party like just traipse out into the desert? Is that what's happening? To go meet this dude?
Yep. I mean, Joseph trusts Malekith to organize the bureaucracy, so
yeah. There's hierarchs and stuff to that stuff too. So,
yep.
So I think
step away from my all important play for this.
Yeah, I mean, you have plenty of people in the Hopstuff Society who can do that stuff as well. Cool. So I think there is going to be a role here to find him. You need someone to literally like track him down in the desert. Like this is a very rare, obscure location. This is an obscure location. The exact location is fuzzy. The rumors about this guy are very vague. There's some sort of role here to actually
we need to hire
make it to the guy.
Basically.
Probably, okay. Yeah. Unless doesn't Thalia have stuff like this though?
Thalia has tracking, survival, hunting, foraging, firebuilding, falconry.
Yeah.
She could make an attempt at it. I don't think she'd be able to.
Yeah,
if
they're
it's
very
particularly
low.
difficult. Yeah.
And also, I think orienteering is the skill she actually needs here. She does not have that one. So, I think
what would the
hiring a guide
to
makes
circle
sense.
Somebody?
Maybe up to. Like it's not it would be someone in the city. It's not necessarily going to be like a rare person. It's just that they need to have a little bit of specialized knowledge.
Can I make it, Joser, so I can get a routine test?
You may, yes.
Excellent, thank you. Can I get a helping dice from Joser for this? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Excellent. And can
the guy who's kind of
that was a routine test for my circles, wasn't it?
Can I use
the guy who just took over the city? Yeah.
Can I use any of my reputations and affiliations for this? Like, of the King's Blood? Like, hey, I'm the queen.
I don't think so. Like, again, it's not a matter of like, it's just whether or not this person exists, and you being a noble doesn't necessarily help that, right? It's just like, this is like more of Maya's pure just finding people ability.
Backlog of people.
Yeah.
Okay. So one advantage from Joser.
From Joser, yeah.
Sounds good. Shouldn't be too
difficult. It was an old 3, I'd get a difficult test on circles.
Say, do you really want to make it? You can.
Well, no, I don't need to make it. I need it to be an ob 3 for you to do it. Then we help. But
all right, there we go. Got it.
You could.
Yep.
Nice.
Cool. So, because it's on the ob, I don't think this person matters, right? They just kind of lead you into the desert. And them making the roll probably doesn't matter either, right? It's just like you need to make some sort of roll to be able to make this a possibility. Yep. So I think we see like a kind of weird shaded. So there's like a big outcropping of rock. There's like an arid basin that you guys have kind of gone down into. There's like you're leading camels into the basin here, and I think the camels that you're riding, most of the, if not all of the animals on Arcadia have some sort of weird thing about them. Is there anything weird about the camels? What do we think? I think the only, like, horses are the most normal animal we've come into contact with, and they're still bigger than normal horses. So it might just be they're big camels.
They have 3 humps instead of 2.
They're camels with an elephant's trunk, so they can spray their water everywhere as well as leather.
Nice.
Yeah.
They are white, so they just reflect light off of them, and they
they just glow,
shine in the distance.
Yeah, we can just say they're big camels. That's fine. But yeah, so you're leading some camels and whatnot or riding some camels into this arid basin that kind of dips down in a valley here, and there's a big outcropping of rock ahead of you, and there is kind of like a spring or something that's coming from like a big rock. There's some vegetation that's surrounding it, but it's sort of weird because like there's this big outcropping of rock, right? But like there's also like a really large kind of cavernous expanse that's underneath the outcropping. It doesn't look like a building necessarily, but like it's like a weird cave, but it's the opening of it is just massive. So big outcropping of rock, something like, this expanse that goes into the mountain here. And there is just a man, wizened old man. He's wearing like a tattered robe cloak thing. He has the horns of some sort of maybe big lizard or something that lives in this desert region over here, in a headdress on his head, and he is sitting cross-legged on like a big rock in the shade of like a big palm tree. And the guide like leads you to a certain distance and then looks back and says, "That guy's weird. Like, I'm not gonna go any closer, but you guys can go talk to him. There's all sorts of rumors about this guy. You guys can take your chances, but I'll stay here and tend the camels." So I assume it's Joser, Maya, and Thalia who head over to talk to the dude, and maybe Rock.
Yeah, probably Rock as well.
Oh yeah, and I think actually while you guys were traveling, I think Rock fills you in on a couple of things, because he probably talked to Joser about this in advance, but fills you in, Maya, on some of the things that he's been telling Joser. One of them being he has some information about the Jagati. Right. So the Indu is like the goddess of the Jagati. Right. That's kind of what her thing was. And he talks about a time when the Jagati were noble warriors who lived on the border of the gates of black dust, right? Or as Joser would refer to them, the inky depths. Right? Or is that the ocean?
Ocean is the inky depths, yeah.
Oh, okay. I've gotten it, they're both black, so
yeah. It comes from a cultural thing for the Setkas where they treated going into the sea as dying. So,
yes, I remember now. Yes, but so he says, and this is a true thing that's still true about the Jagati. They live on the borderlands between, like this huge grassland steppe area, that borders the wasteland that is the dark side of the planet, and it's but beyond Sinia and Nima, off to the east here, and he basically says like there's a bunch of legends about the Jagati being like these noble protectors of the world who they were the people who were keeping the darkness back or whatever, right? And then the father of the gods comes. He tries to get people to come with him to somewhere else, and the legends are very vague on what that means. It's probably in the legends. It's probably more like he needs to take some followers to heaven with him. Joser would know that wasn't the case. Like it was something different than that. There was like another place they needed to go to do something, but it has the vibe of like take the goddess, take a god up to Valhalla to fight in a heavenly war or something, right? And what happened is Indu was the only one who answered the call when her brothers and husband, and I think probably you're also her brother because this, genetics don't work the same way for gods. But slash, we're more in like a biblical sense of first several generations, whatnot. But right, the all the like warrior gods, like Joser was like a powerful guy who had sun magic, and Aratos obviously was like the guy who was all about war. Pyrrhus could have been useful as like the god of oceans. Obviously Seraphim was god of death, like he could have been a great soldier in this heavenly war. But all of them refused. And only Indu, the most peaceful and loving like goddess of all of, like she's the one who shouldn't have gone out of any of them. But because none of her brothers said yes, she felt like she had to. And that's kind of what the legend portrays here. And so she gathered up some of her most loyal followers from among the Jagati and went off to the heavens, right, to follow the father of the gods. And it was very shortly after this where the brothers decided to overthrow the father of the gods and cut off his influence from the planet. The legends don't speak of it in those terms necessarily, but we're getting this from Rock in a more religious sense, and then Joser's filling in the more intimate details of like, this is actually what was happening along these lines, right? We were just mad at God. It wasn't, the father of the gods in the legends is like, he was a tyrant and he was going to tell everybody to do something bad or whatever, right? And the brothers were such heroes for overthrowing. It has a very like the Greek gods are the heroes because they got rid of the Titans vibe to it, right? But Joser knows that wasn't actually the case. And so what happened is Indu left with her followers, and unfortunately, because she had to, because she was committed to this cause, she took the best of the best from her people, and that left the Jagati with not the best of the best, and they degenerated pretty quickly after that, from protectors of the realm to savages and raiders, and they were never the same, and eventually,
especially because she probably died, so she wasn't able to like.
I mean, yeah, she at the very least, like there's no reference to like the religion really existing anymore at that point, right? Nobody worshipped Indu after that, except for maybe a select few. So, and like at this point, I think Maya from your time in Sinia, like the Jagati are considered like anti-theists almost. Like they literally worship no gods. They maybe have like ancestral spirits or something that they worship, but like they have literally said like, we don't serve any of your gods. We have rejected them all. We are our own thing. Where in theory, the legends say they were once part of the same pantheon religion. But yeah, and that's kind of what he fills you in on as you get here. And then you walk up to this dude. What do you say? He doesn't seem to, he does the classic old man, wise person thing of not acknowledging your presence, continuing to meditate or whatever he's doing with his eyes closed.
Yeah. So he's sitting on a rock, was it?
Hey, sitting on a rock underneath a palm tree. Right? Nice.
Joser approves and climbs up the rock and sits on it and also bows his head and closes his eyes.
Okay. I was imagining it as not big enough to hold multiple people. May roll a die of fate, and on a 1, it is big enough to hold Joser next to him.
Sweet.
No. Yeah. So it's small enough that would be really very awkward to attempt. You could sit at his feet though. It's still probably in the shade of the palm tree. You could sit below the rock, like facing him if you'd like.
Yeah, Joseph wouldn't try and miraculously enlarge the rock.
That's such a petty thing to attempt.
Yeah.
Joseph's going to get a little crazy here with his faith now that he has gray shade.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he'll sit at the rock, but he won't face the old man. He'll face out towards the sun.
Okay.
What race is he?
It's sort of unclear. He has dark enough skin, but not dark enough. So he has a kind of like a mid-brown tone that could be where Joser's from, could be a Setkessian technically. If maybe he's maybe mixed with something. Could be a Jagati, honestly. It's sort of hard to tell. He might be a mix of several things.
I was asking to see if I could maybe make an etiquette test to see like what would be the proper thing to do here to like say hello,
sure.
Wait, like what would be the proper thing to do here, just so we start off on the right foot.
I think you can make the roll because we have now said that Maya is a little bit more in tune with all the religious stuff going on around her.
Okay.
It's going to be difficult, ob 4, I think, but you can attempt it.
Okay. Let's see if I work in here. Work in anything. All right, I'm moving out of here. Hold on, I got to move rooms.
Sounds good. I think Thalia probably
look at my sheet and see what I can work in.
Sure, yeah. I think Thalia probably comes and sits next to you, Joser. But I think instead of cross legs, she kind of like does the Japanese style with her legs behind her or underneath her.
I think Joser will actually like reach out a hand and like just rest it on her shoulder.
Sure. Yeah, she seems
probably the first fatherly thing he's actually done.
Yeah. She's shaking slightly. I mean, she's been hearing like all the stories about Indu on the whole way here, and now it seems pretty intense to her that she might actually find something out. Let's see, etiquette, and then court-wise, and probably soothing platitudes as forks for.
I'll help with anticipation-wise.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I heard you say court-wise and soothing platitudes.
And soothing platitudes, and then Joser is going to help you as well.
Okay, is Thalia going to try to help me too?
I don't know if Thalia has anything to help you with. I'll check though.
No, she can intimidate and she can be ugly truth. I don't know that there's much. She can be stealthy and not seen, but
yeah, I don't think she has anything for this.
That's okay.
So yeah, 3 helps.
Okay.
And if you're still navigating, I can roll it for you too.
I am just gonna sit down right here.
Perfect.
Okay. Etiquette with 3 dice because I can work in 2 things. Correct. Okay.
Oh yeah, 3 help altogether.
Okay. And base up 4.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that was not a good roll.
Nope, no 6s either.
Wow, dang. Okay.
Go for it or no?
I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just that Maya doesn't know what to do, so I think she probably sits down at his feet and cross the legs kind of a thing.
It sounds like that's what Joser and Thalia are doing. So, and I think this etiquette roll means that isn't necessarily the right answer. Right. It's not going to at least help you any, right?
Right.
He's just that's weird. I don't know why you guys are doing this. Right. How long do you sit there?
How long does it take? Because otherwise, Maya might
just give me a number because he is going to be a very patient man.
3 days. That's Joseph's kind of thing.
I was going to say, I think Maya would wait maybe an hour. I think she's a pretty patient woman. I mean, she's
okay. An hour passes.
I think she does an hour, and then I don't know.
Passes and
I think
no
she would
sign
say
of them
something.
Stopping.
Okay, so I'm trying to think what she would do though. I wonder if she would, because I don't have the cooking skill. If she'd be like, "Let me go cook something for us."
Actually, real quick, Maya, do you want to make a will test maybe to keep pushing through it?
Okay, sure. I guess so.
Right? Can Maya actually have the strength of will to keep meditating?
Sure, I guess. Sure, why not? Okay, what's the
Let's make it up 3.
Okay.
This thing's like a sort of thing Joser and Thalia could just do instinctively, but
sure, I can push through a little longer.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I think a couple more hours pass, and you're definitely getting stir crazy, Maya. And then I want all 3 of you to make a fort test. As the horrible rays of the sun beat down on you. I mean, you're in the shade, but it's still very hot. You're kind of like in a weird arid basin here. I think it's gonna be another ob 3 for fort.
Okay. Ooh, no.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I get a difficult test though, so that's good.
Thalia also fails. But I guess I'll roll fate for her. She has a 6. Nope. Joser. All right, so I guess I think it gets to a point where like you're convinced that there's no way this guy can do this without dying. Like you don't know how you're doing it. And I think like your guys' concentration just breaks. Your will would be fine, Joser, but like your body just gives out on you. And I think you guys need to go like back to the camels and get some water, right? You're just like, we need to quench our thirst. And when you return, right, or when you turn around from this, he has stood up and he has like left the rock and is standing in front of like the oasis. That's or the spring or whatever that's like in front of this mountainside. Just like gazing into the pool. What do you do? Just walk back.
Yeah, I need to check whether I still have that silly instinct. Yeah, I do. I do have that silly instinct. He's going to try and miracle some water for himself. They're really stupid.
Oh my gosh.
So you want to stay put and miracle water to yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So wait, does he have like a cabin or something like that? Is that, or is it?
Yeah, there's like a weird, like there's like a canvas tent that's out there as well. Okay. Like spread between 2 trees.
Go ahead and
there's like this weird cave behind you. So I think it's like op 5, right? Yeah. Close. I mean, you want a difficult test, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I do want some difficult tests. Or at least one more difficult test.
And the only way you get them is succeeding for faith. So, luckily it's gray shaded. So,
actually, hang on. I need to tell the fate button that it's gray shaded.
Oh, can you do that?
One. Yep.
Nice.
I'll tell it it's back.
Hey, nice. Yeah, so Maya and Thalia leave, right?
I want to go to his cabin and see if I can make a meal.
Okay. Yeah, so I like this. So I think instead, right, he doesn't stand up and go to the pool because you're still there, Joser. Like you remain. Thalia and Maya go back to get some water. And Joser is still sitting there next to this guy. And then Maya, you're just gonna be like, okay, they're probably gonna be there for a while. Let's go make some food for everybody.
Yeah, and I want to try to like give him a meal. Be like, you must be hungry. You've been out here for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have cooking?
No.
I was gonna say Thalia does.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
So yeah, if you mention this, or like, is he hungry? Like Thalia's like, he might be. And then like maybe the two of you just like go over, let the men meditate. The women folk will make the meals here. You know.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So,
can I give her like a helping die with something?
Yeah, maybe if you have something that might make sense. So she's going to do cooking, and she'll fork in fire building, foraging, herbalism, hunting, and survival.
Could I make an argument for etiquette since I suggested this is a meal for him? Like make the plate look nice.
That seems like a separate thing. if you wanted to attempt something like that, right?
No, the only other thing I can think of is maybe child rearing. Honey, wait for your meal.
No, 100% that works because child rearing can be used to cook meals for children.
Oh, excellent.
It's literally a replacement for cooking for children.
You can use it as like cooking,
among other things,
instruction, and like medicine
and persuasion. I think
children.
I will give her a helping die with child rearing.
Perfect. Yeah, you couldn't make the meal yourself with child rearing, but you can help her with child rearing.
Sure. Yeah, those.
make some Dido nuggies for the men.
Wait for your mac and cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. All right. Ob is gonna be, I don't know, because I haven't. It's been a while.
It's one for
Sunblessed.
I just looked it up. It's a 1 for preparing a meal for the group. Sorry.
Simple meal.
A simple meal for the group is 2. A meal for the group is an op 2. Whipping up a meal with inadequate ingredients is an op 3.
I think it's gonna be an op 3 because you're like in the middle of nowhere. This guy probably doesn't have a whole lot of stuff around,
which is why foraging is helping and hunting.
Yep, makes sense. There you go. Wow, Thalia got so many 6s too. Good job, Thalia. Yep. So Thalia cooks up some grub. I mean, there's obviously stuff that he has there, like herbs and whatnot. But I think there is some like dried meat and stuff that he has here. But mostly what she's doing is like taking the food that you guys have in your like satchels on the camels, and doing some foraging and hunting and stuff with her bird to scrounge up a meal here over a course of a couple hours. Weird bug in my throat there for a second. But I think what happens, Josier, because you managed to pull out the stops with the faith, he talks to you before the meal is finished, right? He says, it is not often that men can withstand the same ritual that I do. You are unique. He's like talking from behind you, right? On the rock.
Yes, well, I am not all man. And like the pauldron will pop off and like scuttle around in the sand and like dance around and probably play in the sand because it loves it.
He says, how fascinating. I have not seen anything like that in a long time. A very long time. What is your name, God-man?
Which would you like? The god or the man?
Are not both a part of who you are? I think you may have 2 names now, my friend.
I am the Pafayar Josa Hagiel Salah.
And he says, and I am Mahava. I am Mahava, he who remembers. Welcome to my basin.
It is a talent few have nowadays.
Remembering.
Remembering is a blessing and a curse.
For me, it may be sad, but it is blessing. A blessing can be melancholy without being a curse.
You are wise for one so young.
Young. Yes.
Young.
I suppose in your lifetimes, I am. Among the folk of Arcadiat, I am not. I was there Joseph Hagiel Salah when she left. I was there. I am the only one who remembers, it seems.
Not the only one.
And then he starts like talking as if he's not like listening to you anymore for a moment. And he says, I told them not to move the old monuments, but they would not listen. They would not listen. Our fathers were wise, but they would not listen. You probably know. You know more than most, I imagine, Joser Hagiel Salah. The impetuousness of youth. The fiery passions that drive young men to seek something else from what their elders have passed down to them. Even sometimes in the name of honoring those traditions. That may be the most dangerous path of all.
Is sometimes in the search to preserve them that they destroy them all the sooner.
Why are you here, Joser Hagiel Salah? Why do you wish to remember?
Why am I here, and why do I wish to remember are two different things. Why am I here? To do the Father's will. Why do I wish to remember? I wish I didn't have to. But it is necessary. And those around me, those I have brought here, well, they need to remember.
Ah, yes.
Otherwise, they will be doomed to repeat the same problem.
What would you like to know? What
That is not a
monument
question
would you
for
like
me.
to return to?
That is not a question for me, I'm afraid. I relive the monuments too often already. Well, perhaps not too often. As often as is needed. But there are some here who have questions. They need to be answered.
Yes. I believe so. And he stands up and walks past you and then just goes over to the fire where you guys are like cooking up whatever food you've prepared. And he just like wordlessly like grabs a plate and like starts putting some on it. And again, this is like a really old looking dude in like a tattered cloak. And he just like sits cross-legged before the fire and starts eating.
And Joseph just stays where he was at the rock and probably like just hugs the like slightly larger sized scarab for a good while.
Sure. Maya, do you say anything to Mahava while he's eating, or what are you doing? I suppose is the question, just in general. He just comes wordlessly and like grabs your food.
Yeah. I mean, we made it for him, so
yeah.
I think she'll kind of like look at him for a moment, like see like does he seem to like it?
He's a very hard person to read.
Very hard person to read.
Yeah, right. He obviously seems to enjoy food. I mean, like a normal person, but like there's nothing extraordinary about, nothing out of the, nothing exaggerated about it. It's just like, that's good.
I think
you just wait until he's finished.
Probably, yeah. I'd probably wait. Like, I'd probably also start eating, and
Sure.
just like eat in silence, and then kind of like look at Thalia, like look back at him, and then as soon as he's done,
I was gonna say, I think probably what happens is you take a plate and you're eating, and then Thalia starts to take a plate and then looks at Joser, and then she fixes up a plate for Joser and then walks over and like hands it to you, Joser.
So once he's done, I mean, she'll just say something like, "I hope you enjoyed it."
You are very kind. That's all he says. And he's looking at you, and he has like a weird penetrating gaze.
My name is Maya.
Ah.
You are?
You are the nation bringer.
Is that what they call me these days?
No, no one calls you that yet. But they will.
Yet? Are you a prophet?
I have read the book.
The Irida?
Yes. That is what they call it, is it?
I don't know. My sister has it.
Very good. Very good.
Again, I don't think I got your name.
I am Mahava, he who remembers. What would you like to remember, Maya?
I know nothing.
So you would like to learn for the first time?
Yes.
In a way that can be considered remembering. Or remembering something you should have known, but never got the chance.
About that, I should have known about this many, many years ago.
Yes.
I'm trying to make up for time, I suppose.
I thank you for the meal. Maybe I can offer you sustenance of a different sort. Please, Maya, ask me a question. What would you need to know for what you need to do?
She thinks about that for a very long time.
Yeah. And
because what she wants to know and what she needs to know are two totally different things.
Yep. And he asked it for a particular reason.
What I need to know is where Indu is.
No. No. I will tell you, but you do not need to know this. The reason is because there is nothing you can do. She is gone. Not dead. No, not yet. But she is out of reach. You will not find Indu. She will not come on a white stallion to save this planet. She is tied to a new place, bound to it. Another star in the sky is hers. Not just hers. She is among her other brothers and sisters, cousins. But she will not be returning here. At least, not in the time frame you require. Is this not what you seek, Maya? Help from Indu.
Seek any help we can get.
Say that again.
I said I seek any help we can get.
Yeah. He smiles.
I seek to keep my family safe.
Of course. If you could wave your hand, if you could bring Indu here, would you do it? Not knowing what consequences might befall those she leaves behind. Is your hour of need so desperate that you would seek the bride of wisdom, the mother in exile?
If I were to keep my family safe, I would do anything.
Only if I could take her place, like I should have done before.
So Jester walks over with Thalia.
Yeah.
He smiles and he looks over at you. He says, well, there's an idea. I do not know if you could accomplish it, Josar Hagiel Salah, but the sentiment is good.
You would not be the person I would seeking the audience of if I sought to do that.
What question would you ask of me, Josar?
Ursa looks up at the ever-present sun and says, I would ask for wisdom.
Yes, this is the way of wisdom, is to ask for it, is to seek it, is to marry yourself to it. And you did. Once upon a time, you did. You married yourself to wisdom. But she is gone because you forsook her. And this hurts you deeply, I know. And you will be reunited again. I believe this. Because she will return. I know I said that she will not, but she will not now. Not here. Not as far as I know. She is not destined to return in a blinding flash of light to save this planet. That is up to those still here. But she will return. The mother in exile. The bride of wisdom. The only member of the pantheon to answer the call. She will answer it again. But before she can, there are other wars to fight. Still, the war that she left to fight has not ended. Not yet. But I do not wish to leave you with no hope, which is why I say what I say. And so what is left to you now, Josar Hagiel Salah, but to fight? Because only by fighting will she return. Can she return? You are the husband. You must pave the way. You must conquer the land, build the house, and then she will come to fill it. But not until.
I once knew so much of the future. I wrote a book on it. I literally wrote the book on it. Perhaps I should refresh myself with it.
Perhaps you should. I think this is good. Very good. And he turns to Thalia. He says, you, flower, what would you ask of me? What do you wish to know of your mother? And Thalia she's not like audibly crying, but she's just tears like streaming down her face. And remind me real quick, just to make sure I get the lore right on this. So did she ever know Indu? But like she lost memories because she became mortal, like you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I haven't done any ritual to restore any of her memories to her, so.
She says, I Sometimes I can remember. I remember her arms. They were so warm. But that's all it is, just a feeling, a warmth, or the fading of warmth, the warmth that someone leaves behind when they get out of bed. And then you lay down in their place, the warmth that only reminds you that they are gone. That is all I remember. And I know if we fight, and we win, and we return, I will remember, but I don't mean to be selfish. I don't mean to be impatient, but I would like to remember now. Something of who she was. I hear so many wonderful things about her now, but I don't remember her. I don't remember her voice or her laugh or her words to me, just a feeling. I would know the woman and not the goddess. And I think Mahava reaches out a hand and like touches her cheek briefly, like to wipe away a tear. And he's like smiling, like a kind old man, and he says, I know that you are the child. It is brave of you to have gone this far and been so strong, but I can give you something of what you seek. But it will cost you something as well. You are not a woman either. You are a woman goddess, both divine and mortal in some strange way that I don't yet understand. There is a fundamental difference between men and gods, but we are somehow the same as well. Hierarchy does not necessarily change nature. I can give you something of what you lost. But to do that, you will have to become more than what you are. You will have to rise to a challenge. Because who you are is very vital to what will happen next. And what you do will shape the face of this world, whether you like it or not. Thalia like glances at you, Joser, like very unsure as to what is going on or like how serious this is. Like she looks to you just for like assurance, like, is this something I don't even know. Like this is a step I can't take without looking to my dad, I guess is the look she gives you, right?
My daughter. You have always been my daughter. But what you are now is not all my daughter has been. I promise you will have me. I will be here. What you have lost should be restored to you. Whatever form that takes.
She nods slowly. And then she says, I do not know what this means. He who remembers. But I wish to remember. Rebuild the monument. Give me what I have lost. I will keep it well. And Mahava smiles, and he says, very good. Then I pronounce you Ompt, goddess of peace. And he touches Thalia's like forehead, and her face just starts glowing. And I think there's going to be a roll here. Mahava is going to roll a faith roll to do the same thing you did with Malekith, right? To like unlock the divinity within. He luckily has a gray shaded 9 faith because he's lived for like a very long time, and he's like this close to just going to be with the gods, right? Would you like to attempt to help him? And if
please.
so, how do you do so? What does that look like?
Yeah, Joseph says, peace has often been elusive, lost, stranger to everyone. The same way that you wander through the sands, unseen. It is time this world found peace again.
Cool. All right, here goes nothing. You're giving him 2 dice then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. It's gray shaded and it's open ended, but he only has 11 dice here, so we'll see how well it goes. It's an ob 10. Perfect. Amazing. There's so many times where the cool stuff we come up with could be totally ruined by the dice, but the dice are on our side. This is great.
And not even a single 6.
Yeah.
That's just straight dice.
Bunch of successes.
Wow,
yeah.
that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he got 1, 2.
No, I didn't get this established, but do I get
Thor has truly blessed us.
Helpy tests for faith? Did we work that
out? Does it say what does it say for help in the book? It probably lists like the type of things you can get help for, right? Or earn tests for health for. Let's take a look real quick. Because that would be important.
Well, I'm not even, because last I checked, I'm not actually even sure that this is how faith works for helping. Because I think it's just if your faith and believer both are still just will dice. Last I checked.
But no, I don't think so. Let me just find this.
Hopefully. Helpers learn 46.
Yeah, it just says believer. Faithful characters may help other faithful characters using the standard helping rules.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
Yeah, so it says standard helping rules, so I assume you get a test for it too.
Yeah, sweet. So I would get a challenging from helping what's his name?
Mahava.
Mahava, and also last time when what's his name? My glorious friend
Malekith, yeah.
When he did an intervention.
Yeah, was that...
That was Ob 8.
Ob 8, yeah.
So that would have been challenging too. So I am now a 7 faith.
Amazing!
With the difficult roll I did earlier.
Thalia glows with kind of like a blue-white glow. And rises into the air, and when she descends, she is like dressed in like her. I mean, Thalia is like a weird wilderness girl, right? Like that's that's. But I think she comes down like in a beautiful, clean white dress, right? And she has like a beatific smile on her face, and she says, how does she? She's smiling and tears are streaming down her face. And she says, I think the only thing she says for a moment here is she just says, her laughter was so beautiful. She laughs, like laugh cries to herself for a beat, and then says, gets like a little more serious of an expression on her face, and then says, there is so much conflict. There is. And then her eyes widen. She says, there is. Father, do you see? Do you know that they are coming? They've crossed.
May I have some poetic license?
Sure. Yeah, I might veto it, but you can at least say it first.
Maya goes, what?
Right.
She's like, I just like to think that it's like the serious conversation like between like these three faith people, and she's like, they're coming, and Maya just like sticks her head out. Just,
excuse me. What? Who's coming?
Who's coming?
But
yeah,
what do you say, Joseph, first? Yeah.
Joseph like slowly nods, and he says, like the zombies in Setkes, they are pushing against the barrier.
Yeah.
You see Maya curse.
I hope. My hope is to turn the same thing on them.
And knowing what I know about the lore, that is a thing that definitely, like, we'll see how that looks when you pursue it, but I have some ideas there. So yeah, you're good on that one. Yeah, so I think Thalia turns to you, Maya, and then just says, what do you know of Tartuit? And we just like cut the scene there, right? And she just informs you about the whole like giant demon golems that are now crossing the border of the planet and are going to ravage everything.
Wonderful.
Yep. Poor Maya, caught in a world of gods and demons. Yeah. But I think we just like probably like end the whole sequence there of the Mahava stuff. And unless you wanted to like be like, hey Mahava, you should come with us and help us do stuff. What you could do.
What's his will?
Probably like at 8.
I doubt I could make that. Joseph might be able to.
I'd have to make an oratory speech and not a persuasion test.
That's right, because you suck at persuasion. I could attempt it if you want to bring this guy.
No, I don't think Joseph would try and persuade him to.
Would Maya try?
I mean, if Joseph doesn't want him, then no, probably not. She'd probably just thank him.
I think the one thing he does say to you before you leave is he says, you are going to Sinia next, yes?
I believe so.
Did Joseph just shake his head?
Yeah, Joseph shakes his head.
Yeah, so Mahava looks at you like, I raised an eyebrow.
The book is in Nima. I go to Nima.
I'm not going back to Sinia without my son.
Then I will bring him.
He's a Nima. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, that's probably what she actually said. Like first, she's like, "I'm not going back there without my son."
Sure.
I intend to go to Nima. There will have to be some work done here to make sure we have supplies ready enough for the return journey. I will leave my priests here, at least most of them. Perhaps Rak, Shira, Benaya will come with me. My bodyguard, Thalia, if you would.
Yeah, Thalia nods. He's like, I must.
Then we will go to Nima and organize the final preparations. But then, eventually, yes, we make strides to Sinia.
Yeah, and I think Mahava just says, at the final hour, when all meets, when all conflicts, when all clashes, I may be there. I may have one final thing to do before I remember no more. But for now, I bid you farewell. And good luck.
Ursula bows and says, "You will be remembered. Your actions are already written."
He nods slowly. And he looks back to you, Maya, as like the last thing here. And he says, be careful. You want what you want, and you will do what you do to accomplish your goals. But this is very dangerous. I wish you good fortune on your mission, but I do not wish to be near you should you decide to make a fateful decision, such as attempting something that should not be. Nation bringer you will be, but which nation you bring is still in question.
I pray it's the one that wins.
And he just shakes his head like, no, that was the wrong answer. So he just shakes his head sadly.
He's like,
and
you still don't get it. Maya's scope of things is so small. She's like, I just want my son to be king, and
Mahava's just hoping that somehow through this whole situation you'll learn a little bit better. But for now, he knows it's a lost cause, so he turns away from you. Actually, no, there is one last thing that he says. I think he says, before you leave, there is one last thing I would show you, if you wish it.
He's talking to me?
Just in general, to all of you.
Sure.
Yeah, so he gestures and he walks underneath, like into the big expanse, little like the cave complex or whatever it is that's beneath there. And as you walk into it, you realize that it must be unnatural, right? It must be carved, because once you get inside, you see maybe it was originally something natural before, but it's been accentuated from this point, right? So it's very worn by time. It's probably been here a long, long time, but there are pillars underneath here. There are hieroglyphs underneath here. There's a whole story written on a wall in the back of this large chamber underneath this like rock outcropping. And it pictures, I think it pictures first the father, like Indu leaving, right? It's that whole going off to war in the stars thing. And then the father of the gods being overthrown. And then the Irida being given. And then the last bits are there's some unclear stuff in the middle where it's too worn by time to see like what it could be, but the very last thing is just the sun shining its rays and brilliance upon like a field. And it's unclear what is in the field, but it's just like there's terrain here and the sun is shining on it, and that's the very last panel of this hieroglyphic story. And he looks to you, Joser, and just nods as if you should know what that means. And whether or not you do, we can talk about it, but he just kind of gives you a knowing nod.
It will be done.
And I think we cut from there. I just forgot that I had that in the lore, that it was back there. And I was like, oh yeah, we should see that before we leave. Cool. Yeah, I think we go back to Setkiss, and then let's try to tie up in as many of these other loose ends as we can in the time. Let's do Maya's play, shall we? That's something we for sure need to try to do.
Okay, so I want to try to kill two birds with one stone here.
Okay. When you said kill, I thought we were taking a hard left turn and gonna assassinate someone, but okay.
Joshua immediately grabs
Alpheus were
Thalia's
here-
bird and like hides it so that they can't kill. That can't be one of the birds.
No, I want to now that Hawk is our side, I want to talk to my playwright friend. Do I need to circles her up again, or can I talk with her?
I think you should circles her up, just because that's just how the rules work. But I don't know if failure is going to be too. It maybe just. We'll talk about if failure happens when it gets there.
What is the up?
See whether there's tension because she left you in the lurch last time.
Maybe, yeah, that would be probably the thing. So what was it before? It was like you have the same life path, right?
Up to
2. Yeah, let's just. I think it's still up to. And you can get a +1 die because you've circled her up before.
I'm assuming I can also use my reputation as patron of the arts and
Hop Step Society. Yeah.
So plus twice.
Yeah, there's almost no way you fail this, but we'll see.
You never know. Okay, no, I'm good.
There you go. Very good. Yep. So you find her, and I think she probably gives you a hug, and she says, "I'm so sorry, Maya. I was so scared, and there was nothing I could do. I'm so sorry."
It's okay. And she just like hugs her back, and she's it's okay. You're safe now, for now at least.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a terrible thing. Only Sophocles was killed by the zombies.
Nah, he's just stubborn to die.
And so I would like to tell her, the play is back on. And hey, the traitor in the story, can we make him even worse in the story?
Okay. All right.
Is there a way we could work that in?
I suppose so. I mean, it's basically just giving him more. I don't know. We could have him kick a puppy or something.
Great.
Yeah, cool.
I really want to hit home the hope at the end and the traitor of it all.
Sounds good. Yeah. Who's responsible for everything? This guy.
There was one moment in the campaign where I said, "Oh yeah, they're actually at what's his name, General Spiridon's house," and Alyssa said, "Son of a what's his name?" And I thought there was a moment there where I thought that she said, "Maybe he was just doing his job," but turns out no. That wasn't the thing that happened.
Nope.
Sad.
All right. So I don't think you have to make a roll to like accentuate Alpheus as the traitor.
No, that was part of my circles roll was getting her to like rewrite.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That makes sense. So I think this is just Damaris making the roll, right?
Probably, I guess.
Right.
For the play part, or to make it
to
more
write the play. Right.
So she
already
wrote it.
Did we already write it?
Yeah, she got a 7 or something on it.
Oh, okay. All right. It's been so long since we did any play stuff. I
know. No, I just wanted her to ask a couple of things.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what there is a role here for like it going off, right? I don't think you need to worry about resources or anything. It's just like, does the play have the impact you desire? That's really the thing in question here, right?
Yep. Theatrics, possibly.
What is the difference between theatrics and acting?
Theatrics is the familiarity with the mechanics of stage performance.
Oh, it's like actually producing.
So,
the play.
like sets, makeup, costumes, all that stuff.
That I don't think. Yeah, Damaris doesn't have that. Do you have that, Maya?
No, I have acting.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like someone else is doing that role, and I don't know if it matters enough to. Like, you have access to the whole Hopstuff Society at this point. I don't know.
My whole thing is that I want to instill hope in my people, and also to get them to be like, "Ooh, who's the traitor?" That's my 2 goals.
Here's a question: is Maya acting in this play?
I don't know, because I'm really not. I feel like we should.
You have a 5 in it. No, sorry, Damaris has a 5 in it. I was looking at Damaris' character sheet.
No. I have a 2, but I do have things to help. But not really. I have like drama wise.
Because like I feel like it would be sort of cheap to have it be like, oh, it's just a persuasion roll. I think it needs to be an acting roll.
No, I agree. It's just So okay, what are the
options? So here are your options here. I was gonna say here are your options. I could say we can talk about obs too, but it's possible that Alyssa or that Maya convinces Damaris to be the star of the play because she's actually better at this. Mm-hmm. That's an avenue you could take if you wanted to. She has a 5 in it. Otherwise, I think it would be more impactful if Maya herself is the lead of the play here. But yeah, let's look at acting obs and see.
Okay, mummery 1, morality 2, religious miracle 3, religious mystery 4, classics 5.
Yeah, religious miracle sounds
3.
Sounds right. What's the difference between religious miracle and religious mystery?
Well, it's probably like
in a medieval sense here. What's a religious mystery play? It is mystery plays usually representing biblical subjects developed from blah, 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 blah. They depict such subjects as the creation, Adam and Eve, the murder of Abel, and the Last Judgment. What's the point of mysteries as opposed to other stuff, though?
Well, I think my argument for miracle would be that I'm trying to instill hope, and miracles instill hope. That's the best argument I have.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the actual difference is between mystery, miracle, and...
So from what I can find...
Okay, miracle play presents a real or fictitious account of the life, miracles, or martyrdom of a saint. As opposed to a mystery play, which is a biblical representing biblical subjects, such as the creation, Adam and Eve, the murder of Abel, and the Last Judgment. It's kind of in a weird middle ground between the two things there.
Because it's something
I don't think it's a classic. Yeah, it's not a classic. Right, you're not trying to replay the Father of the Gods or whatever important cultural Sinian play or whatever it is. I think we should go with the higher ob one. What is that one? Mystery.
The mystery.
Yeah, let's go with mystery. I think the stakes are high enough here that we should go a little bit higher.
Man, but I only have a 2 in acting.
Yep.
Okay. You know what? I get help. I have a couple things I think unbroken. I have conspicuous. I've got things.
Because like you're playing, like you have some child actor, playing the king, Ben. But like they're kind of being ushered around by other characters the whole time, right? The real star of the play is Maya's character, right?
Okay. So can I? Okay. So here, can I make an argument for acting child rearing because I'm moving the kid around as a support?
Let me double check what child rearing can stand in for.
Okay.
It might work, but
I'm just saying because if the child's in the play, right, I'm having to move the child around. I think there's a decent argument.
Okay, so the skill, child rearing is used to raise children with the proper values and manners. The skill can also be used as instruction, cooking, and field dressing, but only for the benefit of the children. I don't think, instruction isn't good enough here. I think if you could use it as like a social skill, like persuasion or something, or soothing platitudes towards a kid, then that would make sense. But it sounds like it's more technical stuff, right? It's like teaching them, cooking for them.
You could
putting Band-Aids on.
Could possibly argue for it as a linked test and like in training the child to do a good job during the play.
Yep. You can make a linked test with child rearing in advance, right? To teach this the kid to be better at acting or something, right? That's the idea, I think.
What would the ob be for? Or I guess once you tell me the ob, I have to roll, right?
In theory, you have a 4 in it.
I know I'm not bad at it, so if
I'm trying to think, because it would probably just be whatever giving him a test in acting would be, right? Which it would be like ob 1 for a routine test, and then what does acting count as?
The will of the child or as appropriate skill.
Right, because it's as appropriate skill. It's like as if you were doing instruction. It's a special. Ooh, special skills are a little bit harder. So this is. I'll give you the ob and give you the chance to back out if you'd like, because this would be in the book for you to decipher it yourself, right? It would be an ob 4. I think what I would do is I would make it an ob 3, And ob 4 being, okay, you actually get a dice in it. Ob 3 is nothing bad happens, right?
Yeah, I just don't think I want to risk it. It's already going to be a difficult roll enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so, can I fork in conspicuous?
Yep.
I feel like I could possibly make an argument for court-wise.
Yep, I'm going to give it to you. It's You're doing it to a court.
Right, exactly. Drama-wise.
Yep.
Falsehood.
Yep.
Family secret-wise. This is a play literally about my family.
I'll give you family-wise or family secret-wise, but not both. Not both. Like the general thing that's revolving around it, yes, but.
Okay, got it. Okay, 5.
Persuasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Singing.
Sure, yeah. There's singing maybe in the play. Yeah. Why not?
Soothing platitudes maybe, because like I'm trying to because it's like a play
no one's angry. You're not trying to you're trying to instill hope, but I don't think
I'm not trying
soothing platitudes really matters. Yeah.
That's 7 so far. Okay. I think it's just 7. Okay, all right, 7. I'll take it. And then can I get a helping die from like Dahlia for like writing the play?
Damaris, you mean?
Or Damaris. No, sorry, not Dahlia.
Yes. Yep. She'll give you a helping die for that.
So,
actually, she'll give you 2 because she has a 6 in playwright. So I'll just have her.
Excellent. So I have 9 helping die. There's no reason I just should fail this. And just for good measure, I'm going to put in 1 persona as well.
Sounds good.
Okay. So 9 advantages. 1 persona. Base og 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hey, there you go. Nice job.
I actually had more things to fork in than I thought for acting. That's probably why I was decent at it as an actor.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about having skills at low obs, but having a bunch of forks. It's like, when you really gets down to it, like you don't know a whole lot about acting, but you have a lot to compensate with.
Right.
Right. You're a natural actor in your own life. Right.
Like I know how to. I'm good at drama wise. I know how to make myself look. That whole thing. So I know how to.
Yeah. So and your idea here, you're primarily instilling hope in the Sinians, right? That's the main goal here. I think you could also have multiple people be like, you could have the Psychessians be here too and stuff and have them like it as well.
Whoever will come.
Whoever wants to come, yeah. But the primary audience is the Sinians, and it's to give them hope. And I think, you do it, right? Like you present this. Is this a sort of thing where you're trying to be subtle about it and you don't ever tell anyone, hey, there actually is a boy king that we're going to put on the throne? Or have you already, I'm trying to remember, have you told people about Ben up to this point? Like what's the situation with the Sinians knowing about this?
I'm wondering if at the end, if Malekith should make a speech.
Yeah.
And be like,
just be like, this is all true.
Like, we bow. And then he comes out and says, people of Sinia, this is going to
I think that's a good idea.
This is all true, except that guy didn't kick the dog, and he's actually a nice chap. I really like him.
I know, Malekith probably like side-eyes me like in the middle of the play.
Yeah. Yep,
and I'm
exactly.
Like, what? She wrote it. I didn't.
Yep.
Although I guess I'm up there acting, but still, it's...
Yeah. Okay, I think your role instills hope in the people, right? So either way, they're not going to be hard to rally
also,
or hard to...
because of her thing, do they like, wow, that person really sucks?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, great. I know it's not going to be Malekith's mind, but I'm gearing up for something.
Yeah, exactly. If Maya can make a roll when Alpheus shows up with this whole situation to get people to turn on him, like the stage is all set for that.
Basically, that's what I want to do. I basically want to, especially once I meet up with Avra, I want to put him on trial, basically, is what I want to do.
Yeah, okay.
And he's going to have to answer for his crimes.
Because he's going to have to answer for like getting Ben kidnapped and the murder of the king, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I know about that now, too.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah. Okay, so I think your role here, Maya, has instilled hope in Sinia and set the stage for Alpheus as a traitor. And so the Sinian people will not cause trouble in the future here. Now, this oratory role is for Malekith to rally them in such a way that they will be a major help in what's coming, right? He's rallying anyone who's of fighting age is going to be being a soldier, right? Like anyone who has useful skills they're going to start preparing for war. Like we're going to take back our kingdom. Otherwise, if he fails this, it's like, well, they're hopeful and stuff, but they're waiting to see proof.
But the king is going to save us. We don't need to do it.
Yeah. That's what it'll be. They'll take it the wrong way. They'll be like, we don't need to do anything. Like the king's just going to save us, right? Magically. Yeah.
Because that's how that
works. Yeah. All right, cool. So he's going to do oratory, and he's going to fork in doctrine, falsehood. He's probably embellishing. I don't know if court-wise, lord-wise, or merchant-wise is as...
Well, I mean, you gave me court-wise, so that would be mine.
Yeah. I'm going to give him one for court-wise, but I'm not going to give him lord-wise or merchant-wise. I will give him one more for peasant-wise, right? So the higher echelon, court-wise, the lower echelon of society, peasant-wise. Persuasion and soothing platitudes, because he's like trying to assuage their fears that them standing up to help isn't going to like get them all killed. So I think 6 here.
Could I give him a helping die? Like I'm on stage with him. What could I give him? I have.
I'm actually going to give him an advantage die for the play that just happened too.
Okay. Yeah.
But then Maya, you could use to persuasion if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah, that works. I have a 6 in it, so doesn't that give him 2?
Yeah, so 2 dice. Okay. Joseph, do you stand up there and say something? You could if you want to, but you don't have to.
Yeah, he'll help out. But I don't really like that guy. I've been watching him on my iTV like a bunch. The sun really likes that guy.
Yeah. And what are you forking with or helping with here?
I'll help with oratory. So another 2 dice.
Perfect. All right. So I think the ob is going to be 6, because he has to get like all echelons of people on board with this plan for it really to work the way he wants it to. So here we go. Whoa. Wow, that was impressive. So many 6s too. That's 11 out of 6. Very good. But he had 11 advantage die, so.
Excellent.
That's pretty good. Okay, yeah, so Sinia has been roused.
So well.
Yep. Sinia has been roused. And so everybody's getting ready to... So is the idea here, Joser, or Josh, I guess, just the player, you guys are going to go to Nema. Is Malekith not going to go to Nema? And rally people here? Like, what's
Joser wants to go to Nema? I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe Maya doesn't go to Nema. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maya wanted to go get her son. That's what it was. So my question basically is, who's actually going to do the there's people who can do the organization for Sinia. We have Gavril and all that jazz. They can take the lead on the like prepare Sinia for war sort of stuff. Probably based here in Setkiss. Okay. I just want to make sure that was someone was doing that. Okay, so
because I'd like to think that this is something like Malekith at the end, and we're gonna go get him, and we're here, and we're gonna
Yep. We'll meet you there in Sinia, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna take back Sinia.
Perfect. Okay, so cool. That is a wrap there. What other beliefs do we want to wrap up before we finish here? Any other loose ends?
I think the only one I hadn't got was that it's taking steps to secure Setkess's leadership.
Yes. Yeah, let's do that. Let's have you make a roll there. I don't know if we need to do a bunch of role play here. I can probably just be a roll to set up things.
Joseph would probably just get together Sinian leadership and maybe like a few people, basically combine the Sinian council with like elements from the Setkessian leadership.
Yeah, the hierarchs.
Make a pseudo speech to like just galvanize them and like give them ideas of what needs to be done. And essentially he wants to like put on the table that you guys need to work together, and you need to work together properly. Because I'm not going to be here. Like, this isn't going to be the gods fixing everything. This is going to be men getting down to business and actually doing the work.
And before you make this roll, could I make an argument that maybe I make my roll to see if I can get Calic on her, so he can like maybe help you in this quest?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that first then. Yep.
Because I think if you have him also on your side, like that might help.
Yeah. Let's play that conversation out a little bit. So Maya, you show up in. I guess
we are going to role play this.
Where are you talking to Calic?
I'm assuming this is probably like the day after the play, maybe, or I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter, but
yeah, I'm mainly wondering where.
I'm gonna probably call him in to me. I say I want to board with you, and
yeah, and you guys probably aren't in the foreign quarter anymore. At least you aren't, Maya. Or like you probably have some building in the maybe artisan district or something you guys are based off of now.
Now the rules say, do I need to circles him?
Yeah, well, because this will determine whether or not he's like amiable to the meeting, right? Yeah,
sounds good.
It's not a question of whether you find him; it's just how he's acting.
Cool. What's the order?
Well, you have religious circles now, so this is actually pretty easy. I say just not one.
Excellent.
Because you probably, I mean, he's born noble too, so you probably like share multiple life paths with him, or settings rather.
Heard it.
Yep, there you go.
And okay, I'm one difficult to wait test to upgraded.
Nice.
A lot of circles.
Very good. Yeah, so he comes in and he seems like contemplative, right? He walks in and he's wearing his.
You want to see me?
Priest. No, it's not even that. He probably knows why, or at least in general terms, right? Like talk about all everything that's happening and where he stands in it. At the very least, that's what he knows. He sees.
Could I make a quick roll in preparation for this?
Sure. Yeah, we can keep going backwards in time and prepping more and more for the things that happen. Yeah.
Joseph's going to quickly ask the question of what is Aratos' name that he's taken on as a mortal form?
Oh yeah, who is Aratos in mortal terms? Yeah. That's a great idea. That sounds like the guidance question or whatever, right?
Yeah, so ob 4 probably.
Yeah.
Astrology test. With usual 3 forks. I don't think there's anything else that I get. Yeah, I don't think so. At least not obviously. So 3 helps. No Arthur die space of 4. And I because I'm running a little low on fate, I'll also try and faith open it.
Yep.
No help, no Arthur, 2 obstacle. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. Technically it's a 1 obstacle, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is my fault. I apologize for getting the roll wrong. Okay, so astrology. 3
Yeah, you got 2 6s too, and they re-rolled.
Yeah, so 3 helps. No Arthur, base of.
This is how you succeed at all those space rolls.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, there you
go. So yeah, what is his name?
His name is Gorgas. He is the leader of the tribunal in Kyrides. He literally just started ruling his own kingdom. Right? So I think was it Titan and Alpheus met him at the very beginning of season 3. And he's like the really tall dude in the tribunal who was like being like, oh yes, the woman folk, we should be able to stomp over Ophelia, no problem. It's that guy. So
awesome.
He basically was like he got reincarnated basically as like a giant of a boy, grew up as like a great soldier and then just took over Kyrides. I don't know if you know whether or not people I think Kyrides itself probably doesn't know that he's Aratos, whether or not his closest advisors do. You don't know either, but you at least know that's the guy. So he's in charge of Kyrides right now.
Yeah,
I've known this.
Josel will tell that to Maya as like if you need to pull this card, you can, but preferred not to.
I feel like she might actually lie and say like he's gone, he's dead. You should just follow Pyrrhus.
Right, yeah. He turned into a dead god. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, sorry, dude. He's on the wrong side.
Total bummer. I know. I feel for you, but
no, honestly, because I have a call entry for falsehoods. I think I might.
Just totally lie to this dude.
That's why you got cursed so much last time. Yeah, that's what that was. The big curse was because he was a dead god.
Right. Yeah. It was really just because I think so the priest of Artos tried to like heal the city or whatever it was. I can't remember what they tried to do.
Resurrect the king.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, we established it was because the power's still floating there, and it's like you poke it and stuff.
And
something will happen.
And that was basically what happened, right? Gorgas himself wasn't doing anything in particular. It was just the power was like, that doesn't seem like a thing I want. No, I refuse.
And maybe I'll even use that in there. Like, you tried to do this, you tried to do that, you tried to do this, and it didn't work for a reason.
It definitely seems like the sort of thing Maya wants to do right now is just be pragmatic about it. And yeah.
I mean, like, I think in normal circumstances, but I mean, she's willing to lie for her family to do whatever she has to do. So I think that's the approach she's taking, so I think she's going to go into it and just say, I know this has been really difficult for you, probably even a crisis of faith, with everything. But we really need your support. Like, the people still really respect you, and but you've seen the power of Pyrrhus and Hagiel. I know that you. I don't know if you trust Malekith, but you should. I'm just kidding. But he's the one. But she's going to say something along the lines of, "But he's the one who's here. He's the one that we can for sure count on." And that's kind of the argument she's going to go for with this. Okay. So
I don't know. That seemed like a persuasion to me.
But I'm lying.
With falsehood in it, right?
Okay. I mean,
but like the thrust of it is like, you should do this because it's in your own best interest. I'm embellishing certain aspects of it, but like the whole thing isn't the core of it isn't a lie. It's like, you should do this because it's good for you, which, that's not a lie.
Okay, sure. That's fair. Okay, what's his will?
Let's check. His will is 4.
That's what I thought I remembered. Okay, so
he's young.
I make an argument for okay.
As a reminder, played by Chris Diamantopoulos. I don't know how to pronounce that Greek last name.
I don't know if I don't think I said anything ugly truthy here, but I think Maya would have said something along the lines of, like, if we don't get as many allies as possible, like, if you're not on our side, like, we won't succeed.
Sure. And that means you're doomed as well as us.
Exactly.
Cool. Yep.
So
makes sense to me.
I'm going to go with ugly truth, soothing platitudes, falsehood. I wasn't make an argument for anything else. I wasn't being particularly dramatic, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if etiquette would be the right word, because I called him in for like a private meeting.
Nah.
It's kind of a stretch.
Yeah.
Do I get any bonus just for him being amiable to me, or is that just making it not as hard?
Yeah, it's just not making it as hard. Yeah, you would get a increased obstacle.
I'll just take my 3 advantages then.
Yeah. Good luck.
There's a decent chance of this. Never mind. What was I saying?
Just green. Just so much green.
So much green this session. I don't think we failed a single roll.
Just the fort tests. And one and the edit. There's a couple of etiquette tests that were failed.
Yeah. True.
But any of the important ones, no. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So I think he bites his lip and he says, Maya, I don't believe you about the whole my God being dead thing, but you're right. that Malekith is the guy that I should probably be loyal to right now. I don't think he's working against Aratos or anything, so...
He's certainly not.
He's kind of the closest thing we have to a king, so... And my allegiance has always been with the King of Sinia, so... Sure. You can count on me as an ally. That doesn't mean I'm converting to piracism or whatever you want to call it.
That's fine.
He's still the god of fish.
I'm no pyromaniac.
And Maya corrects him and just says the ocean.
Sure. The ocean. He's great. He's a great dude. I mean, he did a lot of cool stuff. He's literally a god. I don't believe he's not a god. He's not my god in the same way. But he is my leader right now.
He's not my god either. He's just my husband. But to me, that's more important. And I want to keep him safe.
Yeah. See, you understand. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page.
I do understand. True.
All right. We're loyal to the man. We don't have to, like, turn our life upside down or anything. Right? I don't really want to do that.
She, like, smiles at him and just says, I think we're on the same page. Thank you.
Good. Well, time to... I don't know, prepare for war, I guess.
Yep. I think Joster's trying to get everybody on the same page here. We may need your help here while we go get our son.
I'll do everything I can.
Thank you.
He nods.
Cool. And to you, Joster, take it away. All that was basically just to try to give you a helping dice.
Yeah. I'm thinking it might be like a bureaucracy roll. Let me check what the odds are for that. If the sort of thing that it wants you to do makes sense. Because, like, it's not so much, like, you made the big speech to get the whole city united, right? Now it's just setting up the system in such a way that everyone's going to work together. Okay, so the bureaucracy stuff is like, okay, the knowledge of the hierarchies within a codified government of officials or bureau. You can navigate said structures in order to accomplish certain tasks or impel the bureaucracy to move in a certain direction. See, that's the thing I'm looking for.
Forming a committee. Ob4.
Yeah. I think forming committee makes sense, but I think it's going to be a little bit harder because of the type of committee you have to form and the intensity of the stakes involved here. It's not just any committee. It's the committee that's going to run everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think in Ob 5. Yeah, let's say Ob 5.
Okay. Helpy Fockies. We have because this is going to be like a series of conversations to get everyone on board.
Yep.
So
lots of politicking.
Yep. Ugly truth, because not everyone's going to get what they want. This is going to be practical.
Sacrifices.
Yep. I don't think suasion, because this isn't like soul stuff. Soothing platitudes to placate the people who just ugly truth.
Yep.
Rhetoric to convince them.
The 1-2 good cop, bad cop punch. Yeah.
Rhetoric to convince them. Persuasion to bring them around.
In their best interest. Oratory, because that's always helpful for a good politician.
Yep. I'm not going to use falsehood.
Okay.
This is going to be an honest above board arrangement, not a thing. What's it? Anticipation wise.
As much as digging your hands into government can be, yeah.
Yep. Temple wise, to know people within the specific temples who are going to be best for this kind of job, because he's trying to make like
anticipation wise.
Yep, anticipation wise. Temple wise.
Temple wise makes sense.
Which priest, not necessarily the bishop, but like the best priest among them.
Yep.
Rule of law.
Yep.
To like work out how this is
know the laws.
Work. Yep. I was thinking like church politics wise, because that's just politics.
Of course. Yeah.
I was thinking religious history, because you can like cite to them times that and especially like pre-chase off, when there's like, we are technically all part of the same religion. We're all under the Father, which is something that Joseph's trying to emphasize.
Yep. Sure.
City wise.
Yep.
Doctrine for that similar argument of like, this is our religion, astrology.
I mean, the whole religion, the whole government is based. It's like a hierarchic, like theocracy, ecclesiocracy sort of thing. So,
yep. And then astrology.
Good old astrology. Yep.
Mm-hmm. How many is that?
That is 13. You can take some from the NPCs too, right? Anyone who's going to be helping you in this situation, which is Gavril, right? He's the kind of point man for the Sinian side. He will give you, it's just 5 to give you an extra 2 dice.
Yep.
He'll give you intimidation, a little bit of gotta work together because it's tough guy act. That's his main thing. He was a bailiff. What else we got here? Calic. So that's 15 dice altogether. Calic does not have a skill at 5. He just has 4. So he'll just give you some more church politics wise. Or actually, he has bureaucracy itself. He'll just help you with that one. So 16 dice.
Thalia will help with ugly truth.
Sure, yeah. Thalia can help. Malekith can probably help too. He's another one of the gods, He'll help you with oratory for another 2, so that's 17, 19. And I think that's it.
I can also help too, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. There's almost no chance. I think it's almost mathematically impossible at this point that you fail. But persuasion at 6 gives him 2 dice. Yep.
And then Calic also is amiable.
I already did Calic too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So what are we at now?
I'm trying to remember. Did I say 19 last?
I think it's 19. Yeah.
So 21 altogether. It might be impossible. The percentile chance of this failing is so infinitesimal it doesn't even matter.
Hey, I failed one with 19 dice. So
this is a 5. Yeah.
Oh, it is a 5. That's true.
Let's see. So base obstacle 4 for this, and sorry, what was it?
5.
5. Yeah. 5. Base obstacle 5. Yeah. And let's go. Nowhere near
the amount of dice you should have gotten.
Barely a success.
Yeah. Hang on, let me just roll the fate bubble to see if that astrology dice got more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was helpful. Luck was on your side. Yeah. So 10 altogether against 5. So double what you needed. I think Sekes is fine. Right. I think it's going to be just fine. All the dangerous priests got their faith severed and are probably in prison. So, or executed or whatever. Cool. Sounds good. Sekes is in safe hands.
Excellent.
So is the plan from here on out, it's you guys head to Nema and meet up with all the rest of the pals?
He wants to go get her son.
Yeah, makes sense. Who's coming with, right? Who's the adventuring party that's coming here? It's obviously Joser, Maya, Malekith, I think, right?
I don't see why he wouldn't come, especially if things are in good hands.
Yeah. It seems sort of, I don't know, it feels weird to me that he's coming because it's just oh yeah, so many powerful gods are just going to show up and solve all the problems.
Yeah, right? and it means no one apart from Gavril, that is key, is staying behind.
Okay, I think Malekith trusts Joser enough to get his son back that he probably doesn't feel like he has to come. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I think Maya just even though she feels like it's safe there, I don't know if she'd want to leave him. She's I just want my family united again.
Yeah. I think, the thing is, Malekith is the one who made the roll to gather Sinia up. I feel like it makes the most sense for him to still be the point man, leading everybody to glory.
Yeah. I think Maya will...
And narratively, I feel like it just makes more sense. Just so we don't crowd the whole thing.
Yeah, that's okay. I think Maya will. She'll go no matter what.
Yeah.
You stay safe. I swear to God, if something happens, I will kill you myself.
Noted, he says. So I'm assuming Sadiq and Thalia are coming with you, Joser?
Yeah. I'm just trying to work out whether the 3 best boys join me as well.
Actually, maybe this works better because then I can just have Alpheus killed there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the most interesting to me, right? I would rather see Malekith come back later, at the head of an army to help Sinia and have you guys be able to be by yourselves for a while and do your own thing. I think that's more interesting to me.
And that'll give Joser the time to rescue Alpheus and spirit him away.
So, I mean, as a note, Joser, at this point, Thalia and well, actually, let me check. Does Sadiq have? Sadiq has faith, I think. No, he doesn't. I literally have as his description faithful bodyguard, but I guess I mean in the mundane sense. So he doesn't have faith, but Thalia does at this point. So I mean, at the very least, she's helping you. You don't necessarily need to take your posse, but up to you. The only reason, like, I think it makes logical, pragmatic sense to bring them, but in terms of like narrative flavor and structure, it feels better to leave them behind. I don't know. Up to you though.
No, I'm happy. Ruck and Mareth and Brizra can all stay behind and continue maintaining barrier and start doing farms and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
They need as many as they can get.
Yeah, probably true. The Church of Hagiel was not super large, so
I can always circles up one of them with the need them right here, right now, to say that they actually did come with us instead, if I need them. But
I mean, or there's like there literally could be like a small cult to Hagiel and Nima, right? Like technically the gods are worshipped everywhere. In theory.
Now, how long does it take to actually get to Nima? Like, are we going to be getting there? Like,
I have not made measurements of any of these places, but to be honest, we've been vague enough with the timeline on some of this stuff that we can probably just fiddle with it and say, you guys get there. We'll let Alpheus and Avra have some time just on their own. First couple of scenes or something. But I think what we'll have Joser and Maya show up pretty quickly after, just because I don't know. I'm not interested in you guys being on a boat for a bunch of time. So
I would be interested in an entire
you should just make my husband make the winds go quicker.
That's actually what I was literally thinking. You know what?
I'm the weather god. I'm the guy who does all the weird.
I mean, it would be you and Malekith together. Yeah. I was going to say, what I'm thinking is you and Malekith work together to do a faith roll, to just magically faith transport you guys on the seas because he's the god of the oceans and you're the god of the weather. You just get there now. That totally is the thing you could do, and honestly, probably very helpful in this moment. Because otherwise, I think it does take a while, right? That makes sense. I think because you're traveling by ocean, I think this should be Malekith making the roll and Joser helping him. That makes the most sense to me because he's also the god of trade and messengers and all that stuff. So, speed is a thing he cares about. Let's see. What is this? Faith-wise.
Sorry.
Ignore this. I'm just doing it for the lols.
Where's faith? There it is. Are you doing a weather roll?
No, I was doing it for the lols.
But... well, yeah, you were doing a weather roll for the lols.
Yeah, for the lols. Okay. I got some useless, vague predictions, and then we decided to override it and just say, nah, let's just go over here.
All right. I'm thinking maybe it's an Ob 8 for intercession. This mighty miracle brings the hand of God down to pluck the devotee from danger. So the idea is you are plucked and placed where you need to be. So I don't think it's a minor miracle. So I think that makes the most sense. Except I actually just think you are the gray shade god. this situation, which would be much more helpful.
And I have a 7 to start off with.
Yeah. I think it's on that line of making sense for both of you to do it. That's probably the more helpful thing to do, and we should probably just do that.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll give you 2 dice though for his faith.
Mm-hmm.
So Abate. Oh, Thalia can help too. I think she has a 6 as well in faith. God, faith, powers being as they are.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 dice from them.
Cool. And it's on 8. Correct?
Yep, Abate.
Yeah. Technically, if I was only bringing myself and Thalia, it would have been easier. Let's do it. Sorry, I put in the wrong button. I just gave myself like 8 Arthur dice, and that's not what I actually have. No, I won't put any Arthur. And base obstacle 8.
Hopefully this doesn't fail miserably. Oh, man. So timely. Yeah, 8
nice
successes.
routine test.
Very good. Yeah, you needed all the dice you could get, though, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So I think we'll open up the next arc with you all showing up in Nima at the exact same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just get there. Awesome, cool. I'm down.
I think it makes sense for Alpheus to get there a little bit before us, but
yeah, that probably makes the most sense. Is because Avra also had a whole thing where like she learned that Alpheus killed her father, so that makes the most sense. We should give them time to work that out first. Before Maya shows up.
You son of a... And then he's like, what? I'm so sorry. And then
Maya shows up and you son of a... Exactly. Yeah, Maya's
Joseph
gonna
pokes his head in. No, he's so sorry.
Like I can definitely imagine Avra being talked out of being mad at Alpheus, and then Maya shows up and is like, no. We need to be mad at Alpheus.
We need to be mad at Alpheus. Together we will be mad at him.
Yeah.
For his crimes.
He
killed
great.
Your father. He killed our father.
And then I could make an easy persuasion test against Ben Asher to just be first, so that I can get my persuasion up to hold 3, and then. Although I think his will's 6 now, isn't it? What a lad!
Oh yeah, it is because he got child prodigy. Oh yep, I forgot about that.
Much easier, much harder for old Alpheus to persuade him.
That's true. It's very true. Awesome. Well, that was a great session. I'm glad we got to do all of that because it would have been, I think, it would have taken longer to get through all of this stuff, having to go back and forth between the other characters too. There was a bunch of wrapping up we needed to do in Setcast before we can move on. So I'm glad we got to do this. Cool. Well, tomorrow, I told Alyssa this, but I'll tell you too, Josh. Tomorrow I'm planning on, because we're not doing anything Saturday-wise for the normal group, I'm planning on doing some Death Unto Madness. Let's find out what Ophelia, Cyrillus, and all the other NPCs have been up to in your guys' absence.
Hey, I can finally find out how my rice patties are doing.
Yes, indeed, exactly. I think the way I'm going to set it up is I'm going to have I'm going to write down a series of like I don't think I'm going to, because there's so much that needs to happen because I'm not going to do a lot of role playing. It's going to be a lot of like here's a list of all these decision points that need to happen for all the characters and what could happen if they succeed or fail on the roll, and we'll just make the rolls and keep like going down the decision tree, and eventually we'll find out what the state of Sinia is. So yeah, we got 3 main characters to follow, and it's Ophelia, Cyrillus, and Isidore, the guy who's saving Caruzia from the Jugati right now.
And now you have to remember, I know that it was difficult, but Ophelia is blind.
She is blind. Yep. It's easier to remember now because I always describe her as having the veil over her eyes. But yeah, the difficult part is remembering she has mechanical penalties for
Yes.
being blind.
Mine
Yep.
+2 obs and things. Yes.
Yep. All right, cool stuff. I think that's it. Oh, we should do Artha. Yeah, that's what we do.
Oh, yeah, true.
Burning Wheel shows. Yeah. Joser.
Excellent. Hang on. Joser got fate for his first belief. Because he didn't build trust. He just worked on it.
Yeah, she just worked on it. And I think that was an important moment because I think Maya, because like Joser's whole thing, right, is like, we need to do what's right. We need to follow the father. Maya, you failing the role there also kind of drives a wedge between Maya and that ideal, right? Because Maya's like, no, we need to do what works, right? I have one goal and one goal only, and it's to protect my family, and I will do whatever is necessary. Don't care about your ideals, Joser. Like, we're allies, but like, I'm not with you on this. Do whatever is necessary, or do whatever is right. Shtick you got going. So,
yep. Second belief, I did secure Setkess's leadership.
You did. Persona.
And I did give Thalia, or worked to give Thalia closure, and I believe she has that closure now.
Persona.
So, I'll just delete those so I can remember to build them for next time.
I'll give you a fate for if Indu is mentioned, then I get lost in memories, right? That was important and made the scenes the way they were this time.
Excellent.
I'm going to give you a fate point for strange. Classic Joser, just to sit under the tree with the dude and sit there for literally like 5 or 6 hours or something crazy like that. Let's see. I think that's it, though. Well, unless there's, let's see. What other extra Arthur things we got here? Humor. I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot of laughing this time. It was... There, we just had the like really intense giant scene with Mahava, which I think embodiment there for you, Joser. That was, you had some great stuff there. But I don't think there was anything humor or right skill, right time, really. You know what? I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give you right skill, right time, Joser, because you actually had the skill bureaucracy. It wasn't very high, but like if you hadn't, like it would have doubled the ob and stuff, right? Like so, it would have been. It was handy for Joser to actually be proficient in it in some way.
Yep.
It's not the sort of skill that everyone has. So, cool. Yeah, I think that's it for you, Joser. Maya.
I will grace the city of Setkiss with the story of my son. I did that.
You did it. Persona, you finally did it. Had your moment in the sun.
Yes, I remember now. I need to persuade Maya about her soul rather than just what's beneficial for her. Because then I get the call on persuasion.
I mean, honestly, we are definitely the characters are aligning in such a way that might need to happen at some point, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
No, I mean, I'm sure Maya doesn't want to care about her soul, but Joser wants to care about it.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, it goes directly against one of my instincts, which is I will always put my family first, no matter what.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, but that's how you get deeds points, Maya. You decide at the very last moment, you know what? Maybe I do care about my eternal soul.
I care more about my husband's soul than mine. I did.
Yeah, that's fair. So Persona. Okay.
I worked on Alvin's Trader.
You worked on it. Yeah, you haven't actually did the thing yet. But you worked on it certainly.
My husband needs to stay safe. I will convince Calic to give my husband his support.
You do it. You did it.
Yeah, I'm getting all this Persona.
And you can still rewrite. Now that Malekith isn't going to be here, we should probably tweak that fourth belief and have it be more about Ben. It's still obviously about your family. Like that's like the loyal trait revolves around. And Malekith obviously cares about Ben. So even if it was still tied to Malekith as the first part, the second part probably is Ben related at this point. Let's see. I'm going to give you fate for if I will always put my family first, no matter what. Right? You're continuing to play Maya as the pragmatic type, and it's reflecting back into the campaign in interesting ways. I'm gonna give you a fate point for never back down from a challenge, particularly because I thought it was interesting that Maya, instead of being like, oh well, I guess there's nothing I can do, we just gotta let Joser sit and meditate here for a while. Maya was like, you know what we should do? We should cook him a meal, right? Because it was like, there's a challenge here. There's something I need to do to like help, make sure this guy is on our, like, wants to talk to us. Let's cook him something. And that was your idea, and that was because of that instinct in some way. So I think we can get fate for that as well. Man, I should have been threatening performers more. Your third instinct hasn't come up yet.
I know, I think I did this one. I just need to change that instinct, especially because now that the play's done, I don't think it's
Yep. I should have probably brought Sophocles back and had something with Sophocles and Namaris, but ran out of time.
That's so true. I probably
in the novel. Yeah, in the novel version of this, that'll definitely be a subplot. But okay, let's see. Traits: colorful, religious, ambitious. Fake scam, market, privileged, bastard, loyal, power on throne. I don't know if any of these like got you into trouble or.
No, because I was pretty successful at what I did, so I don't.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else there. Let's see if there's extra Arthur stuff. We should probably give Thalia right skill, right time for cooking. But I don't know if there's anything else here for Maya. Yeah. You were sticking to your guns, and most of the embodiment adjacent things were covered by other things. So, all right, cool. I think that's it.
Ooh, one last thing.
Yes.
I need to get your input on. Yeah, steel is a thing. But I need to work out what my trait for stigmata is.
Yes, because you got 7, right? That's when it activates. Is it an aura?
No. Aura is 9.
Aura is 9, okay.
This is markings on my body.
Okay. Does it have to be a die trait, or is it just like a character trait sort of thing?
It can be anything.
Okay. I don't know. Is there like a die trait that is relevant here from the codex or something, like some sort of celestial weirdness?
I don't know. The initial, the first thought that I had that just comes to mind immediately was the character trait prominent scar. Okay. For the lightning scars.
Oh yeah, I like that. I was thinking of something along the lines of that anyway.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a a good scar, a good trait for it.
Yeah. Well, let's look up that in between. But I think that as the visual thing is what's happening there. You have some sort of visible variation of that now. That's always there.
Sounds good.
Whatever that looks like. Cool. I think you guys get steel tests for divine stuff again.
Yeah, it's just another challenge though, so don't.
Yeah, so you don't need it. Okay. Yeah, being in the presence of the divine. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else for you, Maya.
We lived through starvation.
You made one fort test.
We were hungry once. It counts.
Yeah. All right, cool. That's been Death Unto Madness. Thanks for playing, guys. It's a fun little smaller session, but I'm excited about it. We'll see where we're at in the coming weeks. We probably want to wait until chat is free at this point. So
yeah.
We'll figure out when we can play next. But for now, I think we're out. Adios.